Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over this fun little build that I've been playing around with for the past few days. It's performing better than I thought it would. So in turn I thought I would just go ahead, upload a video and share it with y'all. Um, Now stats, 17.2k max health, 33.1 max down, 7 recovery is 812. Weapon damage is 3.1. My weapon crit is 62.1. I have 2 into health, 62 into stamina, and the food I'm using is basic buy stat food. The boon is the warrior. Now, gear wise, it's well, you know what? I'm gonna say gear for last because it is definitely kind of weird. Uh, Skills, we're gonna biting jabs. Your basic spammable. Deals 1.2k physical damage with each strike. Hits 4 times. Deals also grants you major savagery, increasing your weapon critical rating by 2.1 for 8 seconds. Rending slashes, dot that you put on the enemy, dealing 2.8k physical damage, and they bleed for 10.8 over 9 seconds, also reducing their movement speed by 50% for the duration. Deadly Cloak, uh, dealing 3,000 physical damage to all nearby enemies every 3 seconds for 15 seconds. This shield also reduces the damage you take from area effect attacks by 25%. Power Light, dealing cast a beam, dealing 5,000 physical damage to them, and copying all their damage taken for 6 seconds and releasing 20% of it as additional physical damage to them. Maximum copy damage 19.9. Also inflicts the enemy with minor fracture and minor breach, reducing their physical and spell resistance by 1.3 for 6 seconds. And Repentance. Dead bodies around you, pop it, heal for 2.9, and you restore 2.9k stamina, health and stamina. For each corpse in the area, while slaughtered, you gain minor fortitude, minor endurance, and minor intellect, increasing your health, stamina, and magic recovery by 10%. And the ultimate we are running is Dawnbreaker, or Flawless Dawnbreaker, dealing 12.6k physical damage to enemies in front of you and an additional 13,000 physical damage over 5 seconds. While slaughtered, your weapon damage is increased by 5%. Now, bow bar, we are running Poison Injection. Hits for 4.8k poison damage and an additional 8.5k poison damage over 10 seconds. The damage over time deals up to 260% more damage to enemies under 50% health. Endless Hell, launch rain down arrows dealing 1.2k physical damage to enemies in the target area every 0.5 seconds for 10 seconds. Resolving Vigor, nice little heal. Heals you for 10.7k health over 5 seconds and nearby allies for 8.3k health over 5 seconds. Restoring Focus, it protects you. Create a rune of celestial protection which defends you while you stand within it and for up to 8 seconds after leaving it. So essentially it's a 26-second buff. The rune grants you major resolve and major ward, increase your physical resistance and spell resistance by 5.2k. You also gain minor vitality and minor protection, increasing your healing received by 8%, reducing your damage taken by 8%. And rearming trap, you set it, stuns an enemy. When triggered, the trap deals 2.6k physical damage, an additional 6.5k physical damage over 6 seconds. Mobilize the enemy for 6 seconds and grants you minor force, increasing your critical damage done by 10%. After being triggered, the trap resets and can be triggered one more time. And the ultimate on the back bar is Ballista. Summon a turret to unleash a barrage of arrows at an enemy, dealing 41.3k physical damage over 5.2 seconds. Now, I guess we can show, we'll go with the fully buffed stats real quick. So, fully buffed. You're looking at 3.6k weapon damage, 72.1 weapon crit, 19.6 spell resistance, and 17 physical resistance. I think that actually gets higher, honestly. But okay. Now for the sets, we are running 5-piece automaton, Nern sword, enchanted with oblivion damage. Now you can definitely put poison here for more damage proc, but I tend to use the sword for PvP as well, and I like oblivion damage in PvP more. What automaton does, it adds 2-piece weapon crit, 3-piece max stam, 4-piece adds weapon damage, and 5-piece adds 386 weapon damage to your physical damage ability. Now, this is not going to show up on your weapon damage charts. It's going to show up on the tooltip. So, uh, Axe Automaton infused with weapon damage enchant on it. Automaton Bow sharpen with a disease damage enchant on it. Now, the monster set, I'm running Slime Crawl. In most dungeons and pickup trials, I'm running Slime Crawl. Uh, Medium Head, Divines, Max Stam. Adds Spell Crit, Weapon Crit, and gain Modern Berserk at all times, increasing your damage done by 8%. If I know my healer is running Combat Prayer, that's going to give you Modern Berserk. So you can replace Slime Crawl with something else. Uh, you can go with Celine's in a bad set, Veldreth, Stormfist. I tried out Dalmahas for a little bit, just to test it. The weapon damage is nice. You get max stam, max magical for the 1-piece. The 2-piece, when you deal damage, you have a 15% chance to get either a ring of fire or a ring of molten earth around you for 10 seconds, which deals 1.1k flame damage or 1.2 physical damage every 1 second. Standing within the ring grants you 193 spell damage or 193 weapon damage. Effect can occur once every 15 seconds. Now, from testing this, what I have noticed is that I was always getting the physical damage buff. So it seems like it is going to proc off of whichever one's highest. I mean, it went off. Every time it went off, it was the earth coming up. It was not flame, it was the earth. So it was always weapon damage. But what I did notice is that they're not taking the damage from standing inside the ring. So it seems to be working off of whichever is highest, but they're not taking the dot effect. They're not taking damage from the dot standing inside the ring. So, I mean, if you'd like to add that little more weapon damage, you're welcome to run the 2-piece, but the dot is not going to work. Now, our second 5-piece set is Leviathan. It's infused chest, max stam. Essentially, 2-piece adds max stamina, 3-piece weapon crit, 4-piece weapon crit, and 5-piece more weapon crit. Now, if you was to gold all this out with all the buffs, I'm pretty sure you could hit 80k crit, which is absolutely crazy. Shoulders heavy with a max health glyph on it, just to push me above that 17k mark. Divines, Leviathan belt, waist, Leviathan belt, max stam, Divines, Leviathan bracers, Divines with max stam, Leviathan guards, Divines with max stam. Now, if you wanted to, you could definitely go infused here to push your resource pool up a little higher. Leviathan boots, Divines with max stam, and jewelry, all 3 automaton enchanted with weapon damage. Now, this is, let's see, champion points. I have 25 in the warlord, reduced cost to break free, but really that 0.98% isn't really there. But once I get one more champion point, I'll put it here. But so basically 10%, and that is mostly for the, ain't nothing really here for that, but 43 into tenacity, 75 into mooncalf, 20 into tumbling, and 2 into shadow ward. 9 into physical weapon expert, 28 into master at arms, 51 in precise strikes, 27 into piercing, 49 into mighty. Now I have 34 into resistant, which this was where I was PvPing earlier. I don't really change my red bracket around too much. So 56 into hardy, 64 into elemental defender, and 11 into bastion. Now, if you don't have vigor on your bar, by all means, you can run bone shield if you wanted to. It's not going to be a big shield, but if you're just kind of having trouble staying alive, from damage for whatever reason, being, then you could definitely run bone shield. It'll give you a little bit of a shield, not a whole lot, but it's something there. So essentially, you have a tremendous crit with high damage. Now, I ran this in normal asylum with the guild run, and I had a Dawnbreaker hitting for 32k. It was absolutely crazy. And I did a Pug Hellrock group with this, normal, and the Dawnbreaker only hit for 28, 29k crit. So it crits every it's pretty much going to crit almost every time. I mean, there was probably 2 or 3 out of the 15, 16 times I actually casted it that it did not crit. Uh, I did a couple of vet dungeons with it. City of Ash 1, I believe, Fungal 2, and I want to say Volenfell. Uh, it did really well in there as well. Now, running this in a trial, if you don't have your VO, you don't have your War Machine, I would definitely, if your other stamped characters are running Sunderflame or Night Mother's Gaze, then yeah, you can definitely run this build. If not, if they're not running Sunderflame or Night Mothers, then you definitely want to kind of help out and run one of those two. Night Mothers is an easy one to get because it is craftable to help out the group a lot more. Uh, but for the most part, just about every character now, just about everybody that runs a stamp character is running Sunderflame or Night Mothers. So, Leviathan and Automaton is definitely a good way to push out a ton of damage. You could switch Automaton out for Huntings, run Leviathan Jewelry. You're not going to get as much damage. You could do Briarheart as well. You're still, to me, Automaton was the best one to push out the damage. I tried all 3, and Automaton just outperformed Briarheart and Huntings. You don't get as much. You get more crit with both of them other 2 sets, but not as much damage. So, but yeah, that's the build. It's really easy, really simple. Nobody runs Leviathan, so you can definitely, you can go into Crypto Hearts 1 or 2 and definitely farm them. But yeah, that's the build. So until next time, take care.